was, hey, do you have are you in town tomorrow? Can I meet up with you and all this? And I was like, no, I fly out tomorrow morning. He says, well, do you have a ride to the airport? Can I come pick you up and take you to the airport? I said, okay. So he's calling from the lobby the next morning saying, okay, I'm here early downstairs. Can you come down a little early? I'm like, okay. I go downstairs and he's ready with a microphone and a video camera. And he says, can I record you, doing that presentation you did last night? And I'm like, okay. So we got by the hotel swimming pool on the lounge chair, set up a laptop, open up my laptop, go through my presentation slides with a video camera, and he put a microphone on me and recorded me. Next thing I know, he's getting upwards of $80,000 a month or so, moving to Tina Turner's old house in the Hollywood Hills, then buys Shaquille O'Neal's S-Class Mercedes, this badass, beautiful S63 or S65, beautiful Mercedes. And then, I remember, we go out to Pirates Cove together in Vegas. That was a lot of fun. But, for Martin and I, it's been this lifetime, memories. I mean, really, like, in a way, you do anything, you put in your 10,000 hours, you put in 10 years in anything, you should be great at it. You put in 15, 20 years, you put 40 years, I mean, you're a master. You should be, legendary and iconic. But, the idea is to move faster. I think it happens in the real world that there's this career path, that takes a 40-year plan. Here, what I saw is it could be a 2, 3, 4, 5-year plan. Amway has done an incredible job of getting people in the business, locked in and thinking with a 5-year plan. Don't look left, don't look right, 5-year plan, that's what it takes. And Amway has mastered that. I was going door to door after I came out of the Marine Corps, and I was going door to door. This is after Desert Storm and everything. And, I got the mindset of a Marine. One kill, strike hard, hesitation comes death, improvise, adapt, and overcome, teamwork. So, I got all these things in my head about how to go about life and succeed at life and being competitive and being driven. And, but the companies I worked for didn't want to promote me, but I was going door to door selling cable TV. It's the only job I could get, sales job. I didn't have any experience. I didn't go to college. I didn't even get a degree. It didn't matter that I'd been in the military, during time of war and was trusted, as a, non-commissioned officer to lead other Marines and all this. And it didn't matter. I was number 1, in fact, at the company I worked for, and leading teams around the country. It didn't matter. I didn't have the credentials, so they weren't going to promote me. And that just didn't seem right. That didn't seem fair. So, I quit. They lose a good guy like me. There was a second job I had where I was going I was working for this publishing company out of Chicago, one of the biggest out there, Connors. And I was going to businesses. And I was number 1 in the nation. They couldn't believe it. They sent a guy out from Chicago to come follow me around Dallas and just to shadow me for a week or two and just go see what this guy's doing, because he's pulling every other salesperson in the nation away. Go see what he's doing. And at the end of it, the guy says to me, man, if you were organized, you'd be dangerous. But I actually got fired from that job because they wanted me to drive from the outskirts of Dallas to downtown Dallas every morning, for a sales meeting. And I didn't want to do it. I wanted to wake up and go to work. I didn't need a babysitter. I didn't need somebody to motivate me. I was self-motivated. That's what I'm going to ask you to do this year. Learn how to become self-motivated. So I think that the way that you learn to become self-motivated to achieve your goals is to be inspired. So who inspires you? What inspires you? You know, what's the vision you can see for yourself? Now's the appropriate time to do that going into 2019. And that's what started the company, because, you know, I got inspired. I, I wasn't getting promoted at these jobs. The last one I got fired from because I didn't want to play by the corporate rules. And so for anybody who has that safe, secure job or the corporate, hey, you know, good for you. You know what I'm saying? But in life, there's choices. And you can choose to stay there with all its limitations and security, or you can choose to take a risk on yourself and see what you're worth on your own in the marketplace. And if you want to make more money, bring more to the marketplace. And what I do, I have a hard time doing any kind of webinar like this to talk to you without putting stacked books, in front of me. I mean, it's just, it's like, what am I thinking? I can't pick one, but I'm constantly, feeding my mind, because your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And so, garbage in, garbage out. And I know that my net worth is directly proportionate to my net worth. And so there's skills around how to go build a network. Number one of which, is be likable.
Only Wayne Nugent can turn his back on a webinar, and everybody's still like, oh, wow.
And I'm looking for my... Oh, here we go. If you haven't read How to Win Friends and Influence People by now, shame on you. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and I had a buddy of mine in the Marine Corps that wrestled, and one of his buddies was wrestling for NC State, North Carolina, in Raleigh, and we'd go up there. I'd stay at this guy's house, and this guy wasn't like the most handsome and attractive guy, but man, this guy had the gift of gab. And we'd go out, and man, he would get the prettiest girls, man. And but he'd read this book, and it's so funny. But there's just so much truth in it about life that you gotta learn how to, communicate. This is one of the best books ever written that you gotta read in life. My favorite book, As a Man Thinketh, by James Allen. But you gotta read How to Win Friends and Influence People and Think and Grow Rich. Those are just basic. Here in front of me, I got other ones. But if you'll do this, you can go on to succeed. And I did that. I joined a network marketing company because I was hitting the upper limits, in corporate America, and I didn't like that feeling. And I know that there's a lot of people out there like me. I think the world, is really breeding our prospects for us, especially with social and digital the way that it is, that we can get on the internet and live vicariously through other people. We can see the life that they're having. And we start going, well, what about me? And we're so busy consuming their life, we're not creating our own. And what I want to try and do with you and your help is set more people free, that we're the ones helping to create Chuck's lives, a better life with each other. And we're going to expand our network now with the tools, between smartphones. Be smart with your smartphone. Should you work hard like you've been taught your whole life? Yes. Should you work smart? Yes. And should you work long? Yeah, for a season, don't get burned out, but yeah, for a season, work hard, work smart, work long. When you find something good like World Ventures, yeah, you got to go in on it. But why is World Ventures good? Why is World Ventures so good and so unique? Because, it was started on purpose, with purpose. And I'm just telling you what I went through in life that motivated me to start this kind of a company. And it was always meant to be a company that serves you, and serves other people. And I'm gonna train you, how to be a good, servant leader. Because again, if you want more of the world, provide more to the world. In order for you to really kind of provide to the world, you gotta be a creator, and you gotta have people to co-create with. If you want people to co-create with you, you gotta be likable. How to win friends and influence people. So, there's Think and Grow Rich. There's the magic Think Big. There's As a Man Thinketh. What all these books have in common? So what should you be doing going into this year, this new year? Think. Get alone, be by yourself, close your eyes, get where you can think. And start thinking about your future. But you got to be able to put aside all the limitations. Why aren't you thinking big? The problem most people have is that they're not thinking at all, and then if they do think, they're not thinking big enough. And so that would be the first thing I would encourage you to do. Because in our company, in a business like ours, you build people, and then people build the business. So we're trying to find people that want mentorship to be built up. So Martin has become a phenomenal, leader, a phenomenal general. Okay, but as we grow, I've spent a lot of good time, quality time, I should say, with Hadiatu and Julian and Keith Willis and Greg, Mike, Marriage. I mean, when you get to this level, and you have this, first you're just growing on your own, trying to have some extreme accountability, extreme ownership, accountability. But as you grow as a leader and build a team, you go through different mental and emotional stuff. So me as a leader, me as a rep, me as an owner, I've always got to grow, and we're going through different kind of lessons. So I don't know where you're at right now on the path. We're just happy that of all paths in the world that you could have chosen, you chose this one. Once you get on this path, you realize it's a great company being led by great people with great intentions. We have great field leaders, generals, that are looking to raise you up. What more are you looking for? So, be perfect? No. Did we ever say we were, or we ever would be? No. But we want to be, we care to be, we strive to be. We missed the mark, and on a lot of those, we hit excellence. I've never been a part of a better company. I don't know of a better company. And I'm trying to be very objective about that. I know there's a lot of different companies out there, different jobs, different careers. There are. And on the internet nowadays, you can see a lot of talented people that have gotten mastery, at playing the guitar or sports or other things. All that's a language, and it takes practice and repetition and building skills. It requires focus on one thing, and build healthy habits, and it's really about consistency. So that's why I say get good at something worth getting good at. This is worth getting good at. This is something you can do for the rest of your life. and then pass it on to your kids. And that's what this is meant to be. This company is meant to be a legacy company. I mean, I'm telling you, from the very beginning, I'm thinking about a company that's going to outlive me. And again, because who inspired me? And I look at, great companies are being led by great people that have, since passed, and the companies go on without them and things like that. So I'm thinking generational wealth. And behind the scenes, that's my primary job, is setting up the company to where it can outlive me. And I've got great leaders and great generals that have been built that we love the company more than we love ourselves. And we're willing to play team and say, how are we going to carry this company into the future? And so that's why I have so much appreciation for all my years with Martin, and still being in the trenches and leading the way that he is with you right now. And he mentioned Dave and Yvette Uloa, but to see the new leadership like Hadiatu, and she's saying, look, I came on and I was teachable. Mike, pay attention, get excited, never quit. These things get beat into our heads. Greg and his experience, in the military and taking, just like I did, taking that military training and reapplying it, here. Keith, with the way he was raised in sports. But let's say that you didn't grow up with an entrepreneurial family, like my dad was, or going to church, regularly, and have those spiritual values instilled while you were young that I think, relate to business and doing business properly, or sports, or what is it for you, an area of your life that you've excelled in the past, and how do you apply that here now? But I, as the chief visionary officer, as the founder, I expect you to succeed. I expect us to succeed. I already see 2 and 3 billion right within our grasp. And then I expect that you run up to 5 billion, and you start making some serious news along the way there. And then all of a sudden, as the size of our industry, the different things that we've got in the works and planning and infrastructure we're building, do I see past 10 billion and us becoming number one in the entire